Here's Multi, and welcome to the sixth episode of the season series where we go through every NHL team, speculate their possibilities that they have to the official season, which starts in less than a month. Today, because we have the sixth episode, we're taking a look at the fifth team in the alphabetical order, and it's time for Calgary Flames. And we take a look at their Wikipedia page that shows a lot of information, not the whole page, but some of the things that are important for the future and for the present of the team. And then we take a look also to the possible Flames roster that they have it. They've got some sort of like base where we can see the possible players to the team in the official Calgary Flames' NHL.com website. I think that's how you would say that. And then we take also look to the possible Flames prospects who may come next season or later in the future. But as I said, first we take a look at the Calgary Flames Wikipedia page, and here we have it, guys. This Calgary Flames team and the whole organization was founded 1972, and it was known then as Atlanta Flames. Nowadays we know it as Calgary, and they've got, as we can see from here, they've got some pretty great players from the past. They've got great history there. I don't remember have they won. They've won one Stanley Cup. Okay, that's a new thing for me. And they've got head coach Bob Hartley there. He was a really great head coach last season. The material of the Calgary Flames organization last year wasn't that full of names. There were some surprising, and many people had their doubts how they would succeed. But as we know, they had a really great season. They went to the second round in the playoffs, which was really surprising. And now we should take a look at the playoffs history for the past 5 seasons. We have it here on the Wikipedia page, and this is what I said, that they're rebuilding and they've got really bright future. The team that they had last season was really young. They made some great adjustments for it for this season. Hopefully they get their game on. But now for the list, here we have it. We take this look for every team if we can just find it. As we can see, last year lost in the second round, which was the semifinals of the Western Conference to Anaheim Ducks, who did then lose in the next round for Chicago Blackhawks. I think that's right. But to Calgary, they haven't, before last season, they haven't been that successful in the playoffs or neither in the whole season. They haven't qualified for playoffs. So as we can see from here, this lockout season, 19 wins, that wasn't the best for them, even though they were the 4th. And then 13-14 season wasn't great overall, but they've got some great drafts from their players that are young. That those players are that kind of players that you can build around. Really much young skill from the team. And now we should take a look at the possible Flames roster. And here we have it. As we can see from here, they are very young. There's none in the 70s born. Yeah, there's none in the 70s born players that's really young. Oldest player in my eyes that I can see from the forwards is Match Station, and he's 32 or close to that still. Same stuff goes with the defensemen and the goalies. But first, let's take a closer look to the forwards, and that players that hop into my eye, especially Johnny Gaudreau. I think many of you know him from last season. Very tiny, but lots of skill and speed. Then we've got Jiri Hudler, Czech Republican player. We take a closer look when we get to these players later on. Sean Monahan, great center. Mason Raymond. I'm not gonna take a look at his, but yeah, he's a very fast winger and has played in the NHL for many seasons. Drew Shore, I think he came from Florida this season. Potential third, probably, or second liner if he gets this game on. And then this defenseman, I think Calgary has one of the best defense in the whole league. They've got great names that have developed from last season. Like DJ Brody, many people didn't know him at the start of the last season, but now he's one of the main puzzles for the Calgary team. And then we've got the team's captain, and probably will be next season as well, Mark Giordano, one of the better defensemen in the whole league. And then they've got a young talent from Boston to the team this season, Dougie Hamilton. I'm not sure was he a free agent or was he drafted, but I think he's a quality two-way defenseman with a better offensive skills. Chris Russell has played in the NHL for many seasons. I think he played for. I'm pretty sure he played for St. Louis and maybe Columbus. Correct me if I'm wrong. Dennis Weidman. We take a look at his. I think he's been in the All-Star game sometimes. Very good slap shot. And all of these defensemen that Calgary have are two ways really good. They all can be offensive and defensive. Probably Dirk England, one of the not so good offensive, but when you got Giordano, Hamilton, Brody, Russell, Weidman that are really good offensively, then you've got no problem. I really like the whole of this team, and there's really hard to get through this team and really hard for prospects to break through as well. And then we got a decent goaltender pairing in my opinion. Jonas Hiller was decent in Anaheim and he's been great in Calgary as well. I'm not sure was he in the organization as early when Anaheim won the Stanley Cup. I think he wasn't. I think Briskalov and Giger were there. Kaviramo, we're not gonna take a closer look at him. I think Hiller will start as the first starting goalie, but he has to play really well because Kaviramo, Finnish goaltender, has potential to be also the starting goalie as well. And then you can probably see him in the list. He might be in the prospects later on. Johnny Ortio, possible third goaltender, most likely to start in the AHL. Still young, and he may come to this goaltending fight. That's how I'd say. But let's take a closer look at the players that I chose. Johnny Gaudreau. I think many people know him as Johnny Hockey. He was a first round pick. I'm not sure was he originally for Calgary, but last season was his breakout season. He was playing in the college league, so I think that's why he hasn't got that much attention for many people. But when he came to this league, he was outstanding. Last season as a rookie was really good. In a rookie season, scoring 64 points is outstanding. Most likely will be the first line left winger for Calgary. Hopefully we'll get same kind of season for next season, because the Calgary team is better on defense than in offense in my eyes, so they need lots of scoring from there. And 24 goals, that's great, but yeah, he can score, but I think he's like that tiny guy who makes plays and that sort of guys. Probably like Martin St. Louis, as I'd say. But then Jiri Hudler, very good Czech Republican stick handler, has played in Detroit for many years, but now in the Calgary Flames organization. Last season was outstanding, the best season he's ever had, and I think he will develop still, even though he's 31. I think the Flames last season was the best they can do. Everything went right, and it's really hard for this team to make even better. But I think because they're still young guys, they can develop. But I think Hudler's top is in here. I'd really be surprised if Jiri would win like some scoring, like Rocket Trophy, or the most valuable player, or the most points in the whole season, because I don't see him like that kind of guy. But yeah, he's a definite scorer. In the 05-06 season in AHL, really tears shit up in Grand Rapids Griffins jersey. But yeah, probably will get 60 points or that if he doesn't get injured. Sean Monahan, one of my favorite players in the whole league in the center position. Very young, 6th overall in the 2013 entry draft in the first round. Had a breakout season last season, even though his rookie season was okay, scoring 20 goals in both seasons. Will be one of the main players to build on. I think he's the franchise player for them in the future. Has got loads of potential, as we can see from these OHL seasons. And because Gaudreau and Monahan are still so young, I think they will be a great partnership. I think they need a right winger there who has the ability to score as well. I think Jiri Hudler played with them, so that's why they all had that many points, because the chemistry for them. And then we take a look at the first defenseman that got into my eye, DJ Brody, 4th round pick. Not sure, I'm pretty amazed that this doesn't show the team, but he might be originally from Calgary Flames draft. Last season, definitely breakout season, even though he still got 30 points in the 13-14 season. Very good two-way forward, can skate, shoot the puck, and hit. Will be one of the greater defensemen for the Calgary team, and he's 25, so hopefully he'll stay there and be probably a second liner in defense. Mark Giordano, in my opinion, I think he would have won the best defenseman in the league if he would have stayed healthy. He played 61 games last season, which is like 20 less, which is 20 more if you wouldn't get injured. Got 48 points, that's great for defenseman. One of the better offensive defensemen in the whole league. Great puck handling skills, very good vision on the ice. Still isn't that old, even though he's 31. He was acquired as a free agent on 04, and it seems like that he's played his whole career there. So Calgary has definitely saw the great player in him. And then we take a look at the newly transferred player for Calgary's organization. Dougie Hamilton was a first round pick for Boston. I remember that very correctly because I was looking forward to seeing him on ice, and now he's had decent seasons. His potential is, in my opinion, much higher, and now even more higher when he got to this young Calgary defense. Hopefully he'll play with Giordano and Hamilton. With Giordano and Hamilton, they would be a great pairing. But there's also Wideman, who's much more physical than Hamilton. But the coaches decide that Bob Hartley, I think he'll make a good place for him. But yeah, definitely one of the better offensive defensemen in the league. Chris Russell. Yeah, he's played in the Blue Jackets and Blues, as I remembered. I think I saw him play for TPS in the lockout season. Didn't have that great seasons in the Blue Jackets and Blues, but still played for Canadia's World Championship team. But now, last season was really great, as we can see from the plus minus, plus 18, that's really good. That tells you about the team as well. His best season in points and really much assists. And then we take a look at the Dennis Wideman. He was an 8th rounder, so he was a steal. Was he originally from Blues? I don't remember, but he definitely has played in many teams. Last season was incredibly great. Got 56 points for a defenseman. I think Hamilton or Wideman can either play next to Giordano, but as I've said, Bob decides. Many goals, 15 goals. As I've said previously, great slapper and a great defenseman as overall. That kind of defenseman that the whole league needs more. There are these kinds of players, but Dennis Wideman is one of the better ones to look for. John O'Siller, the goalie for the team, Swiss goalie, his first season as a Flame. Before that, only played for the Ducks and in the NLA, I think it's called the Swiss Elite League. But he was in the 07-08, and I think that's the season when the Ducks won the Stanley Cup. It's close one if he got the ring or not, but he definitely wasn't the starting goalie for them, because John Sebastian Giger was last season 52 games. I think the last 30, or when you minus 82 from 52, you get 30, and that's how much Calgary Rambo played. That's how you should play your goaltenders, in my opinion. The little bit better gets a little more than the other, but he's a solid goalie for them and will had a decent season there. Then let's take a look at the possible prospects for Calgary's team that they have in the official Flames.nhl.com page. Sam Bennett definitely played for Calgary last season. Morgan Klimchuk. I think Bryce Van Brandt is a solid one as well. Oliver Killington. He was he was before the last draft, very highly on the lists, but in the last season he little bit dropped off. This is the guy who I said, Johnny Orti, possible third goalie for them. Very young, still born in 91. We got these other guys that I don't know that much. But I've seen Ortia play in the Finnish Elite League and I really like his game. But let's take a look at Sam Bennett at the moment. Sam Bennett was the 4th overall pick in the 2014 entry draft. Played one game for Flames team last season. Before that had played for Kingston Frontenacs. As we can see, 13-14 season amazing, and 14-15 season, which was last season. Still, even though he only played 11 games, he still got 24 points. I think he had a really bad injury problems last season because he only played statistically 12 games. I don't know, I haven't checked that, but make sure you tell me. But yeah, potentially it's one of the better centers for Calgary's organization. I think Monahan and Bennett, they've got pretty close to the same potential. They either one can be the top first liner, both can score points, and they are that kind of players to build on. Morgan Klimchuk, was he originally I'm not sure, was he originally Calgary Flames draft pick or New York Rangers. Either way, he's a quality scoring left winger, still young, may not be in the Calgary Flames' team next season, may play in the AHL, but after that I think he should get a chance in the NHL in the 16-17 season, I think it is. Then Oliver Killington, this Swedish defenseman, I think he's the youngest player to ever score a goal in the Swedish Elite League SHL. Probably will play in the Sweden next season. Hopefully we'll get a chance to play in the AHL at some point before going to the NHL, because I think he should need to see the world, how the NHL and the North American hockey works, because there's some differences. Is it because of the ring or is it because the players' quality? You can decide that. But I think this team has got the potential to be in the playoffs. Still young. I think they can even do better. Hopefully they get a right-handed shooter, because they would really need that. There isn't that. Drew Shore is righty. There is that many right-handed shots there. So David Jones probably will play in the second or third line. But yeah, playoffs in my eyes, probably not potential to be yet the Stanley Cups, winners, but maybe in the future. And I think I'm going to answer this Flames fan ball because I saw it, and who will lead the Flames in scoring in the 15-16 season? Monahan, Gaudreau, Hudler, Giordano, Backlund, Frolic, Whiteman, Hamilton, or other. I think Jerry Hudler will have a tremendous season next season. 30 plus goals. I think that's for it. I'll vote for Hudler and see how it says. It's just Johnny Gaudreau. Be sure to tell who would you pick for the potential goal scoring leader for the Flames. Next time in the series we will go through Carolina Hurricanes. How will they perform in the season? Potentially, in my eyes. Tell your opinions on what I missed, what I should probably speculate more in the upcoming episodes. But I think that's for it now. So remember guys, use on nothing. Bye.